Eno mitawana myerere General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni ebintu byongera kubijja buli olukya. Yalowooza nti nno bigenda kuba byakuzanya naye ebikolobero byazza kulaba na Uganda nga yalowooza nti nno wakitalo nnyo, yalowooza wamaanyi tagambwako nantagambwako, kaakati nno ekizimba kyabisedda. Ajaso tulaba akatambi kano omanye nti nno General Museveni yakwata ewatakwatibwa Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert Bobi Wine siwa muzannyo.
That's what he has done. He first stopped the civic education that we all did in school. And yes, I agree. We need to get back to civic education. And I even mentioned it, I think, when I was speaking here, that here the Constitution is given at grade 8. The teacher in your class signs that you receive the Constitution at grade 8. Grade 8 is S1. Grade 8 is S1. And when you get anyone after grade 1, the civic engagement is so high because they have studied the Constitution. The pocket Constitution that is given in school, the Constitution of the United States is given at school, grade 8. And so, yes, we need to do it for Ugandans. We need to do it for Ugandans because the population, the resource, the voters that go through Chankwanzi, the voters after S6 are the ones that have created us this problem that we can't solve. They are distributed all over. They are everywhere. So I think I have not disagreed with you on civic education, but what hurts is that when you look at people at the level of doctors who are crying, they want to be deployed as interns, and you ask them, but where are the hospitals? Where are the hospitals? If Tororo Hospital is not working, if Iganga Hospital is not working, interning would mean that every doctor is able to be deployed in every district hospital. But interning to our elite doctors, they are looking at Mbale, they are looking at Mbarara, they are looking at Mulago. Those three hospitals cannot intern 2,000 doctors. Now look at the resource of 2,000 people who can't reason. That's where my argument is. Look at 2,000 people who can't reason that you cannot be deployed in Mbale, you cannot all be deployed in Mulago, you cannot all be deployed in Mbarara University. Those are about 3 hospitals that intern. Now the argument should be, when the 2,000 people rise up, that they have gone to protest, it's not about themselves. The protest should be, let's save the country and create a country that can intern doctors. Maybe that is civic education at that level. How do we create a hospital, a country that can intern doctors? You are 2,000 people who are not reasoning. Then we enter there, start there. Yes.
It's, I think the thing, civic education is going to work. I loved something you used to do. I don't know if you still do it. You get on there and mentor some people, but don't just mentor them. Send them out. Send them out to the villages. So I'm going to give you 2 examples. My aunt one time when I went to Uganda, and my aunt, Anage, Museveni mulungi nnyo, twebaka ku tulo. And I told her, no, your son is seated at home. You worked so hard to farm to put him in what? In school. Eh? And now he's seated with you here. Eh? Not employed. You're sick, you go to the hospital, there is no medicine. But for her argument was that because she can sleep and she's now taking tea with sugar. Those were the 2 things that were wanting, making her think. So you see the mentality of how but until I told her that your child is here seated, is not employed. You went to the hospital last time, there was no medication. Then that opened her mind. Another person is one of the MPs in one of the Eastern Gundi who was running. she said that the people liked me so much. She wasn't nominated. I mean, she wasn't elected, but because they told her, the people told her that you make sense, you bring all these good things you're talking about, but you didn't come with anything. The other person brought us some soap and some sugar. So that kind of, so what is us, the diaspora, what are we going to do about this? Get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people you mentor. Have those people go out there and speak to these people. That is the Gundi that is going to help not only our foot soldiers, whatever, but that is what is going to help. If we are going to mobilize, not just going on a podium and saying this regime is bad, but going and talking individually, interacting with them, go into families, go in a weekend and talk to this person and tell them critically what it means if you give out, you sell out your vote, you sell out your rights. So that's my thinking. Just adding to that, Mr. Mugeni.
Yes, I still do. By the way, even this morning, I think I was talking to Busia people. And again, I think it still comes to a point where what I mentioned something like, does it look like a role model? People in Busia listen to me simply because I connected with them before I left. I was a service provider before I left. And I used to speak before I left. I used to speak to them. In fact, for me, an opportunity of seeing patients under crew would be an opportunity to teach patients. That's why we used to get those arguments from. They would look, in fact, the correct word, since Demi is talking about public health, the correct word is a community-owned resource person. A community-owned resource person. When you're a community-owned resource person, you are like their torch. And me, I think I've heard several times when we're either on Twitter spaces or where I keep asking, where do you come from? Mention where you come from. Because sometimes when we speak like we're speaking here, it's mass communication. Who are you speaking to? Yes, I'm sure my target is you. I'm sure Dorcas has listened because I feel her. I'm sure Mangina has listened because I feel him. Demi has listened, that's why she has answered. And that's communication. Now, communication where there's no feedback. Maybe these are all learning points. Communication where there's no feedback. I have communicated, Mimi have communicated back to me. That's a feedback. Demi has given me a feedback. Maybe the next question you're asking yourself, are you communicating? Are we communicating? Not to ourselves yet. Do we communicate to people? That one can be answered some other day. But between me and Demi, we have had effective communication because I got a feedback. Between you and Mimi, I have had the communication because we got effective, because I got a feedback. I got a feedback from Mangeni. Challenge yourself if you're communicating. Thank you.
Dr. Mugeni.
And now I'm getting a feedback from LM Prezo.
Yeah, can you hear me loud and clear?
Loud and clear.
Very soon in November, the Americans are going to cast their vote to elect the next president, correct?
Even have a letter of invitation, I can show you mine.
Okay, so it's correct that in November they're going to elect the next president, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so when you look at the people, the candidates that are competing in that election, there's Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. Now, the Americans are not competing between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. They're competing between those that are fighting for their freedoms, their civil rights against Project 2025. So they're not looking at Trump as an individual. What we are failing to get as Ugandans to understand, why I always keep reminding people, we tend to centralize marginal issues and marginalize central issues. We need to discern the two, because whatever we're experiencing and what we're trying to speak about, those are postmortems. More worse things are yet to happen. The moment we put at the back of our mind that Uganda as a country was captured in 1986 to date, when our parents were lied to by General Museveni to go and fight, and we lost over 500,000 Ugandans that we lost in the bushes of Luwero. So, before you ask what is happening in the prisons, what is happening in the health sector, what is happening in those deep villages in Akapiripiti, Kabiramaido, and all the other places, if you've ever done a business, you must know that whatever you invest in that business will propel that business to either prosper or to break. You invest in money and try to get a good manager to manage that business. If you get a manager whose priorities are known for that business, then the business is going to close down. So how much money is being invested in or injected in the health sector? How much money is given to the prisons services? How do you expect roads to be constructed in the capital city, and you expect wonders to happen in prison or in those upcountry places to get services? We must address ourselves to a country that was captured. Now, if you're dealing with a captured state, then you must inform your mind to read through all the outside noise that people are introducing, to engage your mind to forget about the major ultimate mission of putting an end to the dictator. The work that we are talking about, we Ugandans must do it. Before you speak about the Ugandans deep in the villages, let's talk about the Ugandans in urban centers. Let's start with your family. Are all your family understand why we're in the struggle? Because if you cannot speak to your family and try to persuade them to understand, or educate them and ask them to do the same to their friends, and if they're your children, make them aware of what is happening in the country. We are not fighting, we're not in the normal politics, normal business. We are fighting for life and death. We need to liberate ourselves, the country first, to get our powers back. Once we get the powers back, then we can talk about these leaders and all those kind of things. Yes, we can use different methods. We can, because we chose a non-violent method of changing the way Uganda is being managed. Have we played enough role as Ugandans?
I don't know.
Have we? Uganda signed a declaration the Abuja Declaration to inject 15% of their budget in the health sector. If they had invested that, then you wouldn't be speaking about the young people who have gone to school and they can't be placed in those referral hospitals. Yet money is wasted. Now we get into divisions. Those that purport to be in the struggle, fighting to change, to remove a dictator, are the one trying to divert us, derail us from where we would have engaged our mind, and we give them the time, not giving them the time, calling them out for what they're doing, okay?
Put on auto disconnect.
But we keep talking about and then probably sugarcoat
Other side.
the action that they're taking based on the religion, culture, and
Other side.
wherever they're coming from, whether they are our friends or not. But this is the country that we're talking about. You cannot change anything that is going wrong in the country unless Museveni is gone and is his system. What are the government or regime priorities? What are their interests? What if we get a 72 million or trillion budget, okay, where 31 is expected to be collected from the revenue, and yet we have to spend 34 to pay off the interest on the loans that we're getting, yet those loans are not being used well. And the 45 million people are just there folding their hands because they are really poor, they don't have anything to do, okay? And they expect things to change. Miracles are not going to happen. We need to be realistic to ourselves. Everything that you want to have, you must do something that you've not done before. There's something that you're going to lose. If you want comfort, then forget about success.
Alan Prezo, are you speaking to radicalism? I think I also wanted, I almost want to ask Demi to come back and explain what she meant by radicalism, because even in America here, they are very radicalized. Radicalism, not that they can throw stones, but when somebody defends something, they stand for it. Come rain, come sunshine. Actually, it is some form of radicalism, defending the law.
I'll tell you one thing, Mgenyi. For me, I think I'm naturally radical in my own way, but a radical, a non-violent radical person. If someone, whether they are my family members or my friends, and they mention that they support the regime that is oppressing the Ugandans, the first thing I will do is take them out of my contact. I mean business. I mean business. So we must get serious as Ugandans. We can't keep doing the same thing that we've been doing all the time and you expect miracles. If Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, okay, I support Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu because of the values he holds, what his values are. Because when you look at why I believe in Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu, actually I must say that is the only one, is the only political, leader I believe in Uganda. The rest I don't really care so much. And it's based on what he leads, because he accommodates the values and the characters and the principles that drives my life. The moment he changes that, he ceases to lead that, I take my support. So you'll find the same people, unserious people, changing day and night. They're not serious. One, as I conclude, if someone is leading you nowhere, then you must know where you're heading. You can't say someone is leading you nowhere, yet you don't know where you're going. As Ugandans, we must know where we want to go. You must clearly define where you want to go. And then you find someone to lead you there. In that, once that person gets off the rail to where you're going, jump out of that car. We need to think again. As we speak, whatever we say must be adding value to the cause. Dislike. Hate is a strong word, but isolate. Disobey anyone that tries to derail you from what you're fighting against and what you want to achieve. May God bless you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Brother Ellen Prezo, for your submission. Sister Mimi, you're coming back to close us off. Or Sister Demi, yes, you close us off. And then we'll have Comrade Reggie. Brother Maiga, Omnyaranda Bobby, I don't know if you're able to reach to say hello to us. How are you feeling today, brother? How are you? How are you feeling? I don't know if you're able to summarize just a little bit what went through last week.
Doctor, let me summarize mine, and I sum up.
Okay.
So I think, doctors, there are several points of intersection that we are all agreeing. But for me, I think there are situations in the country that don't require civic education for now. Like the medics, for me, the medics, there's no way you can be 2,000 doctors and we start now looking for, because I keep asking them, where do you come from? Where do you come from that you have no influence? If you sold land to go to school, if you sold, you work out to go to school, and you have no connection with your parents, you have no connection with where you came from, and you go to become a destitute in the capital city where, definitely which LM president is referring to. Are we saying all these 2,000 doctors are from the city that they can't effect change in the villages? However, I also still appeal to us who have traveled. Popular was saying, there are a lot of things from here that can help us impact our people. Quite a lot. And that means connecting with your people. That's my summary. Thank you.
Doctor, what did you want the doctor, those doctors to do other than protesting?
The protest is enough. The protest ended. They are not deployed. The protest should be continuous. The protest is not only for deployment. The protest is about creating a new country where the next doctor will come and benefit. Because the other ones protested, they were deployed. The next will protest. The issue is creating a country where, like I've said, that's why I mentioned an example. This small country has 50 hospitals that can do heart surgery, which means 50 hospitals can intern. I'm talking about Mulago, I'm talking about Mbarara, I'm talking about Mbale and Jinja. There are 4 hospitals in Uganda that intern, 4. And you're producing 2,000 doctors at a go. It means all district hospitals must intern. That's what it means. So we need doctors who reason that way.
Doctor, I don't want to take a lot of your time, guys. But doctor, there are many ways on how to do a protest. You must know who offers and gives money to those doctors, who passes the budget, the health sector. So we are talking about the members of parliament. So as Ugandans, we need to also to have a protest vote on the members of parliament, because General Museveni is using parliament to pass all the nonsense that is affecting the Ugandans and different societies. Okay, so if we sit back and we leave it to political parties who have fronted those candidates, and we leave it to the Abakama to do that work for us, in the next electoral cycle, we will definitely come back here and we'll be talking about the same thing. So we must learn from our mistakes and do better. The responsibility to do that, to make a protest vote or use all other non-violent means to fight a dictator, lies in our hands. We can blame the doctors, we can blame the traders, we can blame every Ugandan. But you and I need also to do our work and ask everyone to do their work, regardless of their profession.
Guys, we cut off
fighting as Ugandans.
something that Dorcas had just said. Let's, regulate ourselves too.
Go ahead, Reggie.
No, I'm saying that Dorcas had issued some, guidance on where we are, but we seem to be continuing with the discussion. So I was just clarifying, should we continue? Dorcas, are you there?
I think, Reggie, you are speaking. You're going to speak next, so I think it's your turn to speak.
No.
That's what she said.
No. From what Mugeni was saying, I just wanted to kind of support one of the things he said, that we need to challenge ourselves as leaders or potential, leaders, to relate to the people that we talk about, find a way to connect with them back home, and in a way we shall be what they call training of trainers. If I have some people I'm in touch with at home and I share with them, educate them in a way that they're also going to pass it on to someone else. It's something that I heard Mugeni was saying, and I just wanted to support him on that. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, Reggie, what you're talking about is correct. But you see, in the past years, all Ugandans have been doing what you're suggesting and what Mugeni suggested. Where we've failed to break through is to have a conviction that after talking and then mobilizing people to join in the struggle and cause that change, what more responsibility do we have? The Americans, I'll use the Americans, they will protect, much as they have the system that will protect their vote, but they will make sure that these guys will follow their vote to the last dot until the person that they have elected has been announced. And if he has not been announced, they will go on the street to show their dissatisfaction, to make sure that that is corrected.
Yeah, I'm hearing you, but you said that you mentioned that where we are failing, but I've not heard you mention exactly what we have failed at.
Okay, what I said where we failed is to walk from A to Z, not stop in between. Because the majority Ugandans still believe that when they go to cast their vote, that's the end of it. That's not where it stops. If you're protesting and you casted your vote under that protest, you want to change. The people that do not represent you or never represented you, and you're having a protest vote, you make sure that you fall through to that vote until the people you elected are announced. If they're not announced, because these results are announced at the polling stations, much as the Constitution and the law gives the Electoral Commission to announce the final results, we have polling agents who sit on those polling stations, and the regime will come and chase them all away or arrest them, and the other Ugandans do not take over. We need to follow through and make sure that we do something that you have not done before. If you are to come through and overthrow or remove this dictator, for us to have a different Uganda that will serve everyone. Otherwise, we're going to continue going around the same circle. Talking and talking and talking. Yes, we're going to invest, we're going to support, we're going to go and demonstrate, we're going to go and protest, we're going to go and mobilize people. People will come through, we'll come on rallies, we will speak against the government, and we'll continue having 300 and something NRM people in parliament. And the opposition will have 100 something members of parliament. Yet the laws and policies, the budget is passed in parliament, that all the money that was supposed to be serving the Ugandans goes into defense, goes into classified. The money is stolen. And that is our money. What are we doing as Ugandans?
May I speak?
Yeah, I think he's done.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
but
greetings
let's
everybody.
not forget Comrade Maiga was supposed to come at some point and we missed him, but yeah, go ahead and I don't know what happened, Comrade Docus.
Let us go on with whoever is around.
But is Comrade Maiga on? Is he on the Zoom?
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Then he's probably waiting for you to give him a go ahead.
No, he was given a go ahead, but then somehow the
Oh,
conversation.
he's here. He's here. I think he's
so
waiting to speak.
speak, and then iPhone can speak if you don't mind. Mr.
No,
iPhone.
let Maiga, Comrade Maiga speak.
Yeah, Maiga is here. I can see him.
Yeah, ready.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Mr. Maiga,
Yeah, Maiga, go ahead and speak. Oyinza kwogera Maiga.
Yeah, mwani Maiga tukuwulira.
Okay. Neyanze erinnya Maiga Ronald aka Omunyawanda Bobi. Ngenda kusooka okubeebaza abateesa mwenna mu ngeri y'enjawulo munzikirize nate neebaze Dr. Nico. Lwaki neebaza nnyo Dr. Nico oyo nti musajja si mufirika naye ensonga z'abaddugavu azeenyigiddemu nnyo awaddeyo buli kimu ky'asobola okukola era musajja oyo musiimye nnyo. Mpazi mu ngeri y'enjawulo mukkirize neebaza abantu mwenna abawangalira amawanga ga diaspora nga Saudi oba nsi ki oba nsi ki olw'ensonga nti mugasa ettaffaali ddene nnyo ku ggwanga lyaffe Uganda. Kyannaku nti ebitugoba wa dictator gutulwanagana naye bitatudde buli lunaku aleetayo nze ku lwange kyendabanga yalowooza nti ekiyinza okubeera nga kimwongerayo okubeera nga ekiyinza okuba nga kimukumira mu buyinza gye buvuddeko nawulidde nti oba baagala okuyisa etteeka ly'okubeera nti buli munnayuganda avunaanyizibwa okubeera ng'asasula amata oba mugenda kugakozesa oba temugenda kugakozesa ng'agenda gasasula kino kibeera awo nalabye nga baagala okuyisa etteeka nti leader of opposition alondere mu parliament era omubaka w'omu bitundu eby'emityana yalese endowooza ebwetyo nze nno sijja kugamba nti ndi mwennyamivu nnyo kubanga Mwami Museveni kimanyi bulungi nti ezo zonna nteekateeka ze naye nze nnyina okukkiriza mu nze tuweewaawo byonna badde babikola tebigenda kusobola bayamba akaseera akatali kawanvu nnyo nina okukkiriza era nti gavumenti ya Mwami Museveni yegenda okubeera ku ludda oluvuganya waliwo ensonga gye njagala okwogerako nga yalibadde main point yange ku lunaku olwaleero oba ensonga enkulu ku lw'abannayuganda abavundira mu makolera enjawulo naye okusingira ddala ngenda kwogera leero ku fayiro kwendi okuli Lutayo Olivia Kakoza Muhaidini Sanya mu nnaku nga 2 mabega nalabye ono omukyala gwe bayita omuwabuzi wa Museveni Nakanguubi abangi gwe bamanyi nga full figure yasoose n'ata akatambi nga kalimu amaloboozi agagambibwa mbu nga Comrade Ssekasanya Mujahideen yerabibwa ennyo nga ateekawo embeera oba ng'alaga obutali bumativu okubeera nga twawambibwa ne tutulugunyizibwa ne tussibwa mu kkooti y'amagye olw'okuwagira His Excellency Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu. Nalabye n'addamu n'ata akatambi akalala nga yeekaabya obuzigo obw'ekirogo bwe yeegayira Mwami Museveni ayimbule abasibe oluvannyuma lw'okumala ddala emyaka 4. Nze nno nga nja kubagamba nti oyo Katemba bazze nga bamuzannya okumala ebbanga naye nzize nga njogera emirundi egy'enjawulo ani ansonga oba kwenjuba nange.
It was saying to turn it over.
Have you done it?
No.
Huh?
It's just only happened now.
Yeah, go ahead, my guy.
Yeah,
We can still hear you.
my guy. Genda maaso tukuwulira.
Okay. Nze nga njogera ku nsonga y'okubeera nti gavumenti ya dictator Museveni nga akozesa abantu ab'enjawulo okusingira ddala okuyita mu Balamu Balugahare gwe yakalonda nga minisita w'abavubuka. Nze kennyini yantuukirira ng'ayogerezeganyako nange okukkiriza emisango egituvunaanibwa mu kkooti y'amagye era nga bansuubiza ebintu ebitali bimu. Naye bwe nawulidde akatambi ako saakyewuunyizza kasobola okuba nga katuufu olw'ensonga nti byebimu ku bibadde ebigendererwa byabwe era nga Balamu alabiddwako emirundi egy'enjawulo nga yeewaana nti Mwami Museveni agenda kuyimbula abasibe bonna abaakwatibwa olw'ensonga ez'ebyobufuzi. Naye nze mu kumanya kwange okutono nzikiriza nti Mwami Museveni tagenda kubeera wiina. Weewaawo ng'anaaba akkirizisizza bakomredi abakyawagamidde mu makomera, weewaawo nga buli lukya ayongerako, kubanga tukimanyi bulungi nga tujjako baganda baffe bawangalidde ebbanga. Waliyo n'abo abatamanyikiddwa nga bakyali mu safe house, tulina n'abalala abaabuzibwawo batamanyikiddwako gye bali. Waliwo muganda waffe Akilewo Kivumbi eyakakuwambibwa emabegako awo n'atwalibwa mu kkooti y'amagye. Waliwo Sami the Might Family, oyo nno naye nga nategeezeddwa nti embeera gy'alimu mbi nnyo oluvannyuma lw'amazzi okusalibwako aga prison, ng'era omuntu n'awaayo okwemulugunya kwe eri prison nti bulamu ki buno bwe tulimu obutaliimu n'amazzi. Yakubiddwa nnyo era tali mu mbeera nnungi. So nno nga mmaliriza olw'obudde, njagala okubategeeza nti mu bbanga eritali lya wala musobola okulaba nga bannamawulire abaali baagobwa mu kkooti ez'amagye nga baleeteddwa mu bungi ne ba YouTuber okubeera mu kkooti okukakasa eggwanga oba okukakasa ensi nti abantu bonna abaasibwa abazze beemulugunya nga balaga obutali bumativu nti baasibibwa bwereere nti bamaze ne bakkiriza emisango era nga batuusa okwetonda kwabwe. Naye ebyo byonna nze we ŋŋumidde nti nzize mbyogerako okumalira ddala tisiti emyezi nga 6 emabega nti enteekateeka ya state eri bweti ne bweti ey'okutukkirizisa emisango. Era nze ndi mugumu nti ne bwe kinaaba nga kikoleddwa bwe kityo kijja kuba nga tekirina kye kigatta ku Mwami Museveni, wabula lwakuba nti nze mmanyi ebigendererwa bye kubbye omusango gwaffe gwamutuuka mu bulago, ayagala kugweyambula, naye anoonya bwagweyambula kubanga guli mu International Criminal Court, wabula ayagala okusiga ekifaananyi nti abavunaanwa baagukkiriza era ye yabasonyiye nga Mwami Museveni. Siyinza kuva wano nga sebazizza bakomredi mwenna abasobodde okumbeererawo mu mbeera mwendi ey'obuwambe. Obuwambe bwendimu neewambye ne mbaako we neggalira, naye we neggalidde olw'okuba nti omukulu ssentebe wa kkooti Brigadier Freeman Mugabe okuba nti yaddamu n'ayisa ekiwandiiko ng'ennaku z'omwezi 19 ekinnoonya okunkwata buli wendi era nzizibweyo mu kkomera. Nina okutya mu nze weewaawo ate nga ndi mugumu kino we mba nzizeemu n'enkwatibwa at least videos oba amaloboozi gange genzize njogera ne we mba nga nzitiddwa leero oba enkya bigenda kusigalawo ng'obujulizi ti byonna ebikoleddwa oba ebiriwo nabyogerako kubanga bajjanga babiŋŋamba nga bansuubiza okumpa akasente. Ntwala omukisa guno bategeeza bakomredi Madamu Dokasi, Madamu Mimi n'abalala mwenna nti ekituufu kiri nti mumbeereddewo ate nga temubeereddewo nze kamuze mubeererawo struggle. Naye ekyamazima munansonyiwa ekituufu obuyambi nkyabwetaaga olw'ensonga akasente ke nasooka okulisiivinga the last time nasobola okuba nga nyambibwako muganda wange Mayanja nsobola okuba nga nfuna we neewogoma akaseera kano. Nalisiivinga 1,000,000 ogwa wano wendi mumanyiiwo, naye dipositi ey'omwezi gw'ennyumba 9,500. 9,500 akaka dipositi kasasulwa. Mukulu Mayanja n'adipositingayo ne ssente ez'amazzi kubanga nayo baba beetaagayo dipositi. So ne tubeera nga bwe twadipositinga ne tusobola n'okufunako ka wifi okubeera nga nsobola okubeera nga essaawa ya leero nsobola okuwayamuko nammwe. Ssente ezo ne ziggwaawo. Mu ngeri y'enjawulo ne neebaza Secretary General awamu ne Pulezidenti wange Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu nti mu kaseera kano era bazziba bayimirira wamu nange, naye yasobola okuweerezaayo ku ssente era omukulu Mayanja n'asobola okunnyamba okusobola okufuna ebintu ebitandikibwako ku bulamu obwa bulijjo, omufaliso, ng'era omuntu atandika obulamu obupya mu kifo ekipya. Naye mbasaba wangi.
Yes, my brother, it is good. Let us put a call out for you. But then ka gundi ka message. Yes, comrades on this space, those that do not know our brother's story, I'll post it shortly. My brother was abducted, tortured, beaten. He's got all these scars on his body, and he's still nursing wounds. And of course, we know that with the mind, the mental torture as well, it is horrible what our brother faces to date. So comrades, let us give. He needs rent. He needs, of course, feeding, and of course, other things, medical care, all aspects of life. So let us look out and give a donation to our brother. Those that are able to reach out, do email. I've put an email out so that we can let you know on how you can be of help. And there is also a PayPal account for those of you that are in the US or South Africa, wherever you are, and you think PayPal will work for you, by all means do so, or email us and we'll let you know what is happening. Yes, comrades, we are drawn to a close. Sister Mimi, I don't know if you want to have a minute, then we roll over to Reggie to close us down, or Comrade Modi. Yes, please. And thank you so much, Comrade Maiga. Comrade Maiga, I see your hand. Did you miss something? Or was that Sister Mimi, do come in, let me know.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the space, and thank you everybody for coming in and talking about the things that concern us. The only thing I think I was gonna say something about the medical doctors. I think in the environment that Uganda lives in, we have to start being creative. But I'm gonna know better. There's no way.
Your voice is low. Could you please speak up a little bit?
Oh, sorry. Maybe I was doing.
Yeah, you are really so much in the background.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Sorry. So I was gonna say a little bit about the doctors, and then I wrap up. The doctors should start being creative. If you've been given that much education for all those years, and I do not turn go over creative, the government is not gonna employ all the doctors. Start up your own kind of and get a specialist to supervise you guys. There are villages, or sometimes we stay so much in Kampala, we stay much where these established hospitals are. Go into the villages, get one doctor who can be your receptor. and they start interning you in those areas, we have to just be creative. Then tunalinda government, the government will not help us. In any area, we have so many engineers, and you say you're unemployed for all those years of education you've received. How can you be unemployed and have a trick and trade? Find ways to use it. You cannot just say, I'm waiting for money to come. Money will come, start it, and then everything else will be put in place. So that is all I have to say today, but let us support our brother, Maiga, and, support him, comrades, and let us, $5, whatever, over £5 or whatever, but let us support our brother. Thank you so much. That's it.
Mwami Mayiga tuli naawe era tumanyi nga Dorcas bw'atugambye nti oyogedde ku by'ensula n'endya naye tumanyi okyetaaga obujjanjabi era tujja kukola kye tusobola naye tuteeke n'omulanga wabweru eyo tukutuukirire munnaffe.
Amina sebo.
Okay. Yeah, so Mimi, doctors should realize also, I mean parents out there, is Museveni's scheme to frustrate Ugandans in good things they are able to do. What he uses against farmers and tells them, plant this and there's market. So they plant it, he kills the market so that they get frustrated. He has also done it to the scientists. He kept on preaching to educate scientists. We are going to add you money. And now they have educated scientists, and now he's frustrating it so that Ugandans give up. Don't give up, but also be creative, like Mimi has said. Stop relying on a dictator. This guy is just a killer. He wants to kill everything. Yeah. Dorcas, are we closing?
Yes, Comrade Reggie, it's your closing, or Comrade Modi. How are you? I think you and Comrade Modi are closing us down on the space. Comrades, we do thank you for having attended. I know there's so many other things that you're busy doing every Saturday or on Saturday. It is a family day as well for some. So we do appreciate your time. Thank you for taking the time to be with us, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Comrade Maiga, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're with us. We are with you. Yes, comrades, do give generously. Please reach out. Comrade needs us. He really needs us. Yes, guys, we are drawn to a close. We speak again, and there's Twitter spaces throughout the week. Please endeavor to attend some of those spaces. Yes, guys, you should all be unmuted. Comrade Reggie or Modi, take it on.
Yeah, Vanange, mwebale kuwerawo. Thank you for being around. Let's close this with our usual victory song. Muluganda, we're going to sing it in English. No, Luganda. Tugenda tandika na Luganda, y'omuluganda. Olulimi olumu ku lwaffe lwe tumanyi Uganda. Then tujja kuyimba mu Luzungu, olulimi olw'ebweru. So, people power.
Our power.
Let's try it again. People power.
Our power.
Some more energy, please. People power.
Our power.
And our power.
People power.
In Uganda, in 3, 2, 1. Olutalo tuliyambala engule zimbasa olutalo tuliyambale
byebyo obiwulidde bulungi ebiri eka era obuvunaanyizibwa bubwo nange okwongera buli nnaku okubako kye tukola nga twebuuza nti leero nkoze eki ekigenda okujjawo gavumenti ya Museveni, leero nkoze eki ekigenda okujjawo gavumenti ya Nakimala, leero nkoze eki. Tubeere nga bye twebuuza buli kadde nga bye tweyogerako buli kadde, oba oli awo eggwanga lyaffe tunalitereeza ne tutuusa ku mutendera gwe twetaaga okusobola okufuna ensi empya n'eggwanga eppya ffenna lye tuneeyagalira. Mbaagala nnyo mwenna, Mukama mbakuumire, tujja kuba tuddamu banange mweraba.